Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about Etsy's vacation mode. How does it affect your shop if you put your shop on vacation? Do you still get the same amount of sales when you come back? Does it completely tank your sales? Well, I'm an Etsy seller since about 2016, and I have never put my shop on vacation mode. If I ever needed to take a little bit of a break, I would deactivate my listings. So that's basically just put your quantity down to 0 or deactivate them, make it to where your shop's still open, but you don't have any active items currently. So that's always what I would do. If I ever needed to take a little bit of a break, which I used to around every holiday, I would take a couple weeks off. Well, I got to a point now where my orders were coming in like crazy, so I decided to put my shop on vacation mode for a couple weeks to kind of get my bearings together, kind of make a good plan for organization and our new scheduling, because it is my husband and I running the shop full time. Orders were coming in like crazy, so I had to put my shop on vacation mode just to take a breather, not even have to worry about it. So I'm going to tell you guys how it went, what happened. I was getting an average of, I'd say, between 28 and 50 orders a day. We have where we sell custom wood signs, so we were getting a good many orders per day, and I was really kind of a little bit concerned whether or not it was going to completely tank my shop. I had a lot of Etsy's pick and best sellers and things like that, so I was curious, how was it going to affect my shop? So in today's video, I'm going to go into my shop, show you guys my stats. We're going to go into details, and I'm going to explain what happened in my shop. I give you a full 7-day rundown of how long or how it did during those 7 days of reopening again. So let's go ahead and get on into this video. I know you're not here to listen to me talk. You probably just want to get to the information. So let's go ahead and hop onto the computer and I'll show you my stats. So here are our stats the week before we went on vacation mode. So I do want to mention that I kind of knew that a vacation mode was pending, so I stopped taking custom requests that week leading up to it. And so normally if we do take custom requests through our messages, we can get up to 300 plus per week, just depending on how many we get that week. But I wanted to stay relevant to the week before vacation mode and then the week we opened up after vacation mode, just to stay kind of current with everything. So our visits that week were 4,455. We had 220 orders, which kind of leveled out to about 31 to 32 per day. Now we sell custom wood signs, so this number can vary for every shop depending on what you make and sell. If you have a low value item, high value item, depending on what you make and sell, but we do custom wood signs. And then our conversion rate is 4.9% for that week. And so what a conversion rate is basically the amount of visits that converted into sales. So how many people saw the item and purchased from viewing the item. And so they say 1 to 3% is average. So anything over that's pretty good on Etsy. So it's good to pay attention to that conversion rate and see how does that compare when we open back up. Is your conversion rate still really good? How many visits are converting into sales? So we're going to pay attention to that number when I show you the stats here in a little bit. So now let's hop on over and show you how people were viewing our items. So here are the traffic sources before our shop went on vacation mode. I thought this was important to show so we could compare how things were being found before vacation mode versus after. So I thought that would be relevant for this video. And you might be looking at all these and wondering, what does all this mean? I know that when I started looking at stats and metrics, it confused me. I was like, what are all the differences between all these? So I'm going to read from the Etsy website directly, just a quick little rundown of what each of these mean so that we can better understand where orders are coming from. So first is Etsy search. So that is visits from people searching on Etsy. This does not include Etsy ads promoted in Etsy search or search traffic in the Etsy app. Next is the Etsy app and other Etsy pages. That is visits from people browsing the Etsy app or on pages on Etsy.com. That is excluding Etsy search. App pages include visits to your listing or shop through any page of the app, from Etsy search, favorites, and Etsy ads clicked in the app. Other Etsy pages include category pages, the home page, editor's picks, favorites, forums, and more. Next is the Etsy marketing and SEO. So that is visits from traffic through off-site ads on Google and Bing or search engine optimization to drive more traffic to your shop from external channels. Next is the Etsy ads. So that is visits from ads and search results on Etsy.com. This does not include visits from Etsy ads on the Etsy app or offsite ads. All app activity is included in the Etsy app and other Etsy pages traffic source. Next is offsite ads. That's visits from traffic through offsite ads on websites like Google and Facebook. Next is social media. That's visits from Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and other social media websites through your personal accounts, organic sharing on social media, and offsite ads on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Then we have advertising, which is visits from ads in Etsy search and on Google. This does not include visits from ads on the Etsy app. All app activity is included in the Etsy app and other Etsy pages traffic source. And lastly, we have direct and other traffic, which is visits from people who typed in your shop URL into their browser, bookmarked your page, clicked a link on an email, instant message, blog, news article, or any other website that sent traffic to your shop. So if we go back and look, my biggest one was the Etsy app and other pages, and Etsy search is what it looks like was the majority. So those two are actually the ones you want to pretty much pay attention to the most, because that is people browsing on the Etsy website. That's on the app, looking on the homepage, scrolling through, editors' picks, bestsellers. Like, that is people finding you through SEO. And originally, I used to think Etsy marketing and SEO was the one that was your SEO. And I was like, oh no, my SEO is horrible. But no, your Etsy marketing and SEO, like mentioned before, let's go back, is visits from offsite ads on Google and Bing and search engine optimization externally. So not on Etsy. It's just like your SEO through offsite ads and Bing and Google, things like that. So this was our stats or how shoppers found us before we went on vacation mode. So now let's get into the stats after vacation mode. So this is the week that I opened back up. And as you can see, obviously things are lower. Our visits went down to 1,053. We had 51 orders this week and 4.8 conversion rate, which is about the same. So that's pretty good. And our revenue was a little bit down, obviously, because we had less orders, but that's okay. So this was that week. Now, I do want to say, as it's kept going on, it has continued to increase. And I see it going almost right back to where it was before. And so I do want to say that even though it looks like shell shock, you're like, wow, that's a big difference. It's still orders. So the first day, I think we had like 3 orders, and then it was like 6, and then 8, and then I don't remember. I can't really tell by the chart too much, but it was starting to kind of creep back up again. So you should expect that the first week that you come back, this might be what you find. And sometimes people go back and it takes even longer to get back into the algorithm. But I do now want to go show you something that I was happy to see come back that I thought would be gone forever. So something I was worried about was losing my bestseller badges and Etsy's pick badges. So basically what bestseller is that people are buying this item a lot and it's become a bestseller. And then the Etsy's pick is where Etsy's editors actually hand pick your item and put it on things like the homepage and some different emails and things that they send out. So I had that Etsy's pick badge. And when I first launched my shop back again after vacation mode, the Etsy's pick and the bestsellers were gone. And then after a couple of days, they popped right back up again. So just know if you're worried about losing those, it doesn't mean that it's gone forever. Here are how shoppers found you from the week before we went on vacation mode to the week after. So as you can see, obviously the numbers are going to be lower just because we had less orders and all of that good stuff. But as you can see, the Etsy app and other pages and then the Etsy search were still the top ways that shoppers found me compared to the first. So that's kind of the same. And then I also turned our Etsy ads down, the amount we were spending, so that number's lower as well. But other than that, everything's pretty much the same on how shoppers are finding us. All right, so now that we've looked at all that, let's go ahead and do our own research and see if we're ranking on the first page in search. So how you're going to want to look at this is you're going to open up an incognito window. How you do that is really easy. You usually just have like 3 buttons here at the top of your internet, and you can open up an incognito window. And what this does is it doesn't have your search history. It's not tailored to you, so that when you're searching, you're actually getting a genuine idea of what an outsider looking in is finding on search. If you're looking in your own Etsy page, you're probably going to find yourself or not have accurate search terms because it's going to be tailored to the things you've already looked at before. So how we're going to do that now is we're going to go to Etsy.com. And we're going to go type in what we're kind of ranking in. So I know for sure that the most popular sign we have is under nursery name signs. So you'll never want to pay attention to this first line because it's typically ads. But you'll start looking at the second line and down, and you're going to just browse and see if you can find your item, which I did. Okay. So good to know. We're still ranking on the first page, so it does not affect you, or at least it's not affecting my specific shop. So now I'm going to go and type in another search term that I can find our item. That's under a last name sign. And see if I can find our item. So yes, I did find it. So we're still ranking on the first page here as well. So that's kind of a way, if you guys are ever wanting to browse and look and see if you're ranking on search, that's all you got to do to see where you are. So as y'all could see, obviously sales did dip slightly, and that is completely to be expected. I mean, if you think about it, you're going from ranking and being on search to just removing your shop and your listings completely off the Etsy's algorithm. And so when you just hit that button to go back live again, everything's gonna kind of get moving again, get momentum again. So I hope that you guys seeing my example can kind of help better prepare you for if you want to take a vacation on your Etsy. Like I said, I went off for about 3 to 4 weeks. So it was a good, long, extended break. But some people go for as long as like a year plus and come back, and some people go just a couple days. So I think it just depends. So if you're planning on going on vacation mode or deactivating your listings, something that I would plan to kind of look into before you launch again is obviously optimizing and making sure your SEO is still good. So your photos, titles, tags, descriptions, and keywords, just make sure all of that's still good and relevant depending on how long you went on vacation mode. If it's only been a little bit of time, it's probably not that big of a deal, but just check through everything and make sure everything's good to go. And then another thing that I like to always do when I'm trying to boost sales is run a sale. So sales are a great way to earn income on Etsy because when they're searching, your customer is searching on Etsy, they see the sale and it kind of a lot of times makes them want to buy because who doesn't love a good sale? So running a sale as well as maybe having an ad budget to kind of help boost you in the algorithm a little bit. I always run ads on Etsy. They work very well for me. And I only run ads on the items that are doing really well and have really good SEO. So items that get good visibility, I run ads on those. And another video kind of going into details on that in the future. And the next thing is to have a fast lead time. So before I shut my shop down, my lead time was like 5 to 7 business days. And now I'm able to do them at like 3 days, which is a very quick turnaround time. So I noticed that customers really like quick turnaround time. So the sale mixed with the quick lead time, mixed with the good SEO, you should be good to go and you should be able to get good visibility on Etsy. I wanted to explain to you guys what would happen if you decided to take your shop on vacation mode. Long story short, it's totally fine to do it, and just be prepared that if you do it, sales probably are not going to just roll on in like they were right when you shut off. Expect at least a couple days to a week to a couple weeks to kind of get back to normal again. And if you might need to just prepare for that one way or another. But you might be cool with the less sales. It might be like a breath of fresh air, some time for you to kind of get your bearings a little bit, kind of like it was for me. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Bye.